topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, it's Wendy Stewart Kaplan and
Stephen Bloomer T.
Triversity Talks tonight. And have we got two fabulous guests for you, Stephen?
Well, first is the wonderful director, Flavio Alvez, and then
the wonderful actor, Tym Moss, both from the amazing film, got the Audience Award at the 2019 South by Southwest Juried Film Festival. The film is called The Garden Left Behind, and we're going to give you a little preview.
And we're going to see how good we are with technology.
Here we go.
I've been practicing this all day, but that
so
means nothing.
The purpose of this exercise is to relax your mind and to guide you to create your own peaceful, safe place. Continue to breathe slowly, gently.
Why are you here, Tina? Are you happy? Everyone's life is complicated.
It is time to retake our seats at the table of society. It is time that we take to the streets and demand our rights.
Are there issues in your life that might complicate the transition process?
Get yourself some therapy, get whatever body parts you want.
Antonio no me dice nada.
You look so nervous. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
No sé por qué quiere hacerlo.
Why can't he see me? I see you. And you're beautiful. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
Hey, baby girl, you need a ride? We will take care of you.
I'm able to confirm that you have gender dysphoria. You may seek treatment.
Wow, folks. So now get ready because let's introduce you to Flavio and Tym.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tym. Welcome. We got the trailer to work. Well, Stephen got the trailer to work.
Perfect.
Oh, the trailer again.
They couldn't see that. You should have kept that under wraps.
Oh my gosh. Very, very powerful, emotional trailer for a very, very powerful, emotional film. Thank you both for joining us tonight on Triversity Talk.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So this has been quite a hectic week for you, Flavio. This week was the release of the film, right?
Yes, that's right. It's
crazy. A round
great.
of applause for you. What kinds of things did you have to deal with this week?
Well, I have been doing it for 7 years now, dealing with all kinds of things, and making a film. It's such a trip, and but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that the film now is available so anyone can see it. Yeah, and that so many mails, so many responses that I'm getting from everywhere now, and it's so exciting because I'm hearing from people that I haven't been talking in a long time, and they just happened to find out about the release of the film, and then they contacted me, just like, I saw your film. I'm so
that is just so it's so exciting. Now, you there's parallels between you and this film. You came here in 1998 looking for political asylum, right?
Yeah, I came to the US in 1997, actually. You know?
97, okay.
Yeah, after I wrote a book in Brazil about the gays in the military. That was, oh man, so many years ago, you know. And then I was kicked out, and then I came to the US, and then because I thought like, okay, I'm gonna wait for a year or so things could calm down, then eventually go back to Brazil. You know, but things didn't get better, and then I could not go back to Brazil because they took my passport. When I came to the US, they cut my passport in half. So, and then I didn't have a country, you know, right? I was a stateless person, and then I went to the United Nations. I got a refugee travel document, then which allowed me to, you know, I didn't have a country, right? But at least I have a passport. I could go to a few countries. And then a year later, I was granted asylum. And
wow.
In the US, and then I got a scholarship from Columbia University, you know, to study political science, which was so cool, you know, and yeah, that's another beginning of my story.
So the beginning of your story, okay, you make it all sound so easy, by the way. My gosh, what a life already.
That didn't sound that easy.
Yeah, I was in jail. It was not easy, you know. And,
right, because those are all the things that come when you come to another place seeking political asylum. Okay, so you're at Columbia University, you major in political science, so not filmmaking. So what was your first job?
Well, after that, I was an intern for Anthony Weiner, the Congressman Anthony Weiner. Then he hired me to work for him. I was working for him. Then my dream was always to work for the Clintons, right? And Hillary was senator in New York, you know. And that was back, I don't know, 2001. I have no idea when, 2005. I don't know. It's so many years ago. And then I went to, he helped me to get into Hillary's office. I worked for her for a few years.
So Anthony Weiner got you into Hillary Clinton's office.
Yeah, he did. Anthony actually is a good friend of mine. You know, we are very
cool.
He's amazing. And listen, I don't want to get into all the personal things.
No. It's just so great, though.
Yeah, and Anthony was just like, we have pretty much the same age, you know. He was just a few years older than I am. Yeah. So, and then we became good friends, and I told him my dream was to work for Hillary. And I told him, but you work for me. Like, I know, but my dream was always to work for him. And then he helped me.
Liver.
Yeah,
you're my friend, but you're also a stepping stone.
Yeah. And then I worked for Hillary. Then after that, I was like, you know, then I went back to work for Anthony for his campaign for mayor. And after he lost, then I was like, you know something, that's time for me. That's the chance that I have to actually pursue my passion for film, because I took some few classes in film while I was at Columbia. And then I was like, you know, I really want to pursue that, you know. And but talk about the parallel between the two things, between filmmaking and politics. It's so interesting because I don't think I would be as successful as I am, if you can call it, you know, so being successful. But if I had not gone through politics or has this opportunity to work with politicians, and I learned so much with them, you know, and anyway, so it was easy for me to. If you can survive in politics, doing politics, you can survive.
Right. Yeah, like the filmmaking coming up.
Yeah. Oh, became like a sweet pie, like a walk in the park.
But I mean, it's just so interesting. I mean, it does put like new life. You know, not to spoil anything in The Garden Left Behind, but there's definitely a very political component. And you see.
Doesn't matter if you make a film about minority. Doesn't matter how you see it. It's gonna always be seen as a political, you know, act. You know, doesn't matter. No, it could be about immigration. Could be about anything. And I'm not gonna shy away from those things. You know, like I am a gay man. I am a Latino, and I do understand what it means to be an an outsider. So I am going to go straight to the point and tell people like that's how I feel. But the film, The Gala Behind, is a different film. It's feel more like a documentary, because it seems that I'm actually with the camera following that person, but when in fact it is a fiction, you know.
It's fiction, but I'm listening to what you're saying, and I know some of Tim's background. Both of you are gay men, and you're both activists. And this is a question for both of you. I'll ask you first, Flavio. What made you such a strong activist, and why use film to try and get your points across?
I became a filmmaker because I was attracted to the dream that I could make a difference in people's life. You know, again, as a member of a marginalized, community, as a gay man, as a Latino, and I think it's important for me to know that I help other people to achieve their dreams. Especially now that I'm in this position as a director to make an impact on that front. So, and for me, it's all about who's coming after me, and how I can help them to get to the director's chair. And I think our voices are very unique. They're important, and but there are very few people out there who had the chance, to see ourselves reflected on the big screen, and so the work that I do is just like not only in front of the camera, but also behind the camera, because I want to help other people that come after me to be able to show the work and express, their voices, and today is the trans community, but if you see all my films, it's all about marginalized members of our society, elderly people, Latinos, undocumented, people, and the gays and lesbians, and so I try to walk in different, try to get different experiences, but at the end, the goal is the same, try to bring marginalized members of marginalized communities to the forefront of filmmaking.
And you're using film as a vehicle. Really, it's a perfect vehicle. Tim, how have you used being a performer and a writer and a producer and a radio host? How do you use that in your activism? You're a major activist. I mean, your name is everywhere.
Well, again, I try, and again, I just kind of try to broaden people's understanding through my art. When I was first coming out back in the 70s, we were totally underground. The gay community, LGBT community was not even mentioned. We were not a part of society in any way, shape, or form. And then we started to emerge and started to come out like, we're here, we're queer, get used to it.
I remember that slogan.
Yes, and we started to realize that, oh my gosh, this policeman on my block is gay, and the librarian is gay, and this person is gay, and the people in all aspects of society are gay. That we're everywhere, and then it led all the way up to where marriage equality, where we can actually get married, and we're now interwoven in the fabric of American society. So in a way, to have witnessed and experienced that, to go from being completely underground and hidden and not even spoken of or mentioned of, to being a part of the American fabric has been an amazing thing to witness. And just to have been a part of that evolution, I wear that with a badge of honor. I'm grateful. I did a little bit here, a little bit there, but just to have even contributed anything, I'm very grateful that I was in a position to do that.
It's interesting because they both have that parallel. You're from two totally different cultures.
Yeah.
And yet, and Tim used the word underground. You too, Flavio, from where you came from, you're from Brazil, and yet how interesting that you both connected on the same point, right? That using your creative talents to really get your message across.
And to make life better for people like me, we're young, growing up gay, who, felt like I was in the shadows, but
Yeah.
I'm queer, get used to it. I mean, people like you both that paved the way.
Yeah, I was on the elevator in my building yesterday. There was a young gay couple that got on, and they're holding hands and all of this, and I just wanted to go, smack, you're welcome. I still have some issue. I didn't get to do that when I was
I'm glad to let that rage out here, Tim. That's good to share that with us.
No, because I didn't get to do that when I was their age. And I'm so grateful to see that, that they are able to live open and as free as they are.
Right, because you laid the groundwork. It's interesting, Flavio, you brought up earlier, and it's something that when I was watching your film, I thought about a lot. And I said this to Stephen, so much in American filmmaking, aging, it's like a curse, and in a lot of ways, the parts of for an aging actor, they're not juicy. You can't sink your teeth into them. And you feel so much in America, like, especially in our big features, everything is so youth oriented. Every now and then they'll throw you a bone and they'll put somebody famous up there. But you've had an interesting look at aging and seniors and how you want to use them in your films. Why do you think that is?
Because actually it represents America, right? And
all over the world, not just America, right?
And it's so it's crazy that when you go outside, you walk in the street, they are out there, right? Then you go to the movie theaters, you don't see them. They're like, what's happening here? Something's missing, Why can't I see them? But also because they're colorful characters, and they are so interesting, to work with. And again, it's so about representation, and for me I want to see more people that we don't see very often on big screen. I want to see them out there in the TV, in my TV, and in the theaters. So it's for me, it's no brain. It's just it makes totally sense. But also for me, there is the commercial side as well, and I'm not gonna deny that. Because it's easy to get a free press. It's easy to get. Grants, because they are more likely to help stories that have characters from different backgrounds, and so it's easy to also get stars to work with you, because and how often you're gonna get you see like Ed Asner in a movie.
Ed Asner in the film.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I haven't seen Ed in ages.
Yeah, and how often?
Grant, it's right in front of my screen.
Right.
And by the way, and he called me, and he read this. Somehow he got the script, and he called me like, "I want to be in your film. I want to work with you." That's awesome.
That's incredible.
And so I have other films that the lead was, elderly with elderly characters, and it's wonderful. It's also for festivals. Festivals are looking for it, festivals. And I'm not talking so much about investors, because investors, they think differently. But for grants and for free press and for festivals, and they look for diversity, and which is cool too, So first, I want to work with them. It's great to work with them. They are colorful. They are wonderful to work with. But also there is also the commercial side that helps also to get the film done.
And that's great that the commercial side does support doing those things.
Yeah.
Do those things and actually be financially beneficial. That's awesome. Yeah.
So it makes totally sense, when you and to work with different communities, and also another thing about the gala behind is that because we work with over 50 trans men and trans women in front and then behind the camera.
There's nobody that can say that,
And then we have over 70 organizations supporting the film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more than a film; it's a movement, And everyone's talking about the gala behind. So all those organizations that work with us, they're supporting the film. They understand the importance of visibility, the message that the film carries, and so it's anyway. Again, it's we are very happy that we decide to work on this film. That it's not easy to get the film done. This film took about 6 years to to be made.
Right.
But in the end, it was the right decision, and we are very pleased with everything that's happening with the film. And yeah.
But just a couple quick things. One is Flavio. I pat him on the back because being a visionary. This was filmed. This was the first film, I think, that employed predominantly trans actors.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, there was 50 to 60 on set.
Yeah, we shot this film in 2016. At that time, was a groundbreaking, right?
Absolutely. And then
anymore because after Pose, so many other.
Right. But Pose started filming, I think, the year after.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were released first, everybody thinks they were first. Flavio was first.
Yeah,
Flavio,
we have been working on it for a long time.
Yeah. And then a lot of the actors from The Garden Left Behind, I would see on Pose.
Yes.
Wow, that's
wow.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to mention was the set. The set was just being on set with my trans brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Just the camaraderie and the love and the joy. Everybody was so appreciative of just being together and working together and being acceptant and loving of each other. It was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful set to be on.
It was a great experience to work with. We have the best team, I have to say. And the good thing is, as I said, and think about this, and with those 50 trans men and trans women work with us, but also we have other people from other backgrounds. Like I have, Latinos, have people of color, everyone work on this film together, right? They learn so much by working with us, And my hope is that eventually some of them will be in the director's chair 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And that's the beauty, it's what would be the impact that the film would have, in the other storytellers, but also we give, we also hope that other productions will follow through, they will do the same. Right. And I have seen some of my friends contact me and say how can I do what we did, and we want to have more diverse set, how did you do this? How was your approach? And it's so good, and I think everyone should do it. Now the Oscars are doing it, sort of, So my hope is that that would push the studios to do the same,
But you brought up a good point, Flavio. He mentioned the Oscars, right? The biggest criticism for years has been just way too generic, way too white, way too milk. And more and more, and you know this better than anyone, independent film is blowing out. I mean, the Tribeca Film Festival, South by Southwest, all of those festivals. And there is more and more film festivals every year that are all honoring independent films. So don't you think that the trend, I mean, you're a trendsetter because this is the trend, right? To get this kind of film out there.
Absolutely.
What was the question? Sorry.
So don't you think there is a trend more like getting away from the Oscars where films are just being made independently now, not even thinking about getting Oscar awards, just being in festivals and being out there just to lay groundwork for more work like that?
Well, the things are changing so rapidly, that so even in terms of fundraising, okay, because I think what stands behind what is between me or independent filmmakers and getting a film done is always the financial side, right? Yeah. So we have to now, most of the people that have ideas for to tell a story, they don't they have problems in getting the money that they need to make a film that at the end it would look good enough so that it would be in various platforms, so people can watch it, right? So I think that things are changing a lot on the industry, and people having more access to opportunities. For example, the way we raise the money for this film, big chunk of the money that came for this film came from eBay.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's so great.
Think about that, and maybe 20 years ago we couldn't it wouldn't be possible, right? And today, we as filmmakers, we have to think outside the box. You know, the way we want to tell a story now, so we have to find a way to tell our stories. You know, so we use instead of using other platforms like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, because everyone's using those platforms and they're kind of saturated with so many people looking for money in those places. We decided, like, no, we have to think differently. We have to do something different for this film. And then we decided to raise the money on eBay. So instead of asking you for money, I'll ask for you, Stephen and Wendy. Well, I did for Tim. Tim also, he knows that.
Yeah. Wasn't hypothetical for Tim.
Yeah,
you know something? I see behind you that gay flag there. I will say, I want that gay flag. I want to sell it on eBay. And then you donate that to us. And then we sell on eBay, and the proceeds.
Oh my God, this is just I'm a big eBay shopper, but this is
brilliant.
I don't know anyone else has done this.
Yeah. But you know, we raised $104,000 on eBay.
Get out!
Yes, but the initial goal was $10,000, which we raised like in a week. It was that easy to raise the money on eBay. I'll tell you why. Because first, I help you by taking something out of your closet that you don't know what to do with.
Here you get my shirt.
I don't know both of you that well, but I know Stephen and Wendy. I know that you have something in your closet taking space, collecting dust. You don't know what to do with it, so you donate this to me, to my film, and then you're gonna feel good because you're donating. You're donating to my campaign, and which is gonna help to make the film, right? And then you also can it's tax deductible. Because we worked with the New York Foundation for the Arts, and the donations that we received was 100% tax deductible.
That's incredible.
So you get something out of it. I get something out of it. Everyone's happy, you know.
Yeah.
And we raised $104,000. But here's the thing. At any given time, we have over 1,000 items on eBay. At any given time.
Wow.
So, and that was a machine, right? Because we need a lot of people, right, to bring the stuff in, take photos, describe on eBay, and then when we sell it, and then we have to pack, then we have to run to the post office.
Yeah. Oh wait, you did? Wait, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, Flavio. You pack it, you shot it, you did the pictures of it, and then you wrapped it all up, and then you had to schlep it to the post office.
Yeah, but we have a group of people, we have a bunch of people. But here's the thing: if you become very good in taking photos, and we had one person very good, which is specialized in taking photos. That person became very good after a day or two working with us. Then we have another person describing the items. And I have another person packing the item. And then they pretty much knew how much that cost in terms of shipping, you know. So, and then we made some changes on our campaign, you know. But after a month, we became like an expert because we are selling around like 200 items per day. And then it was insane. You know?
It's amazing how quickly you can become an expert in just about anything with
anything. So we sold, just to give an idea, we sold anything from cat food to like adult toys.
Okay.
You really ran the gamut there, didn't you?
Anything people gave it to us.
Everybody.
And hopefully you didn't get those packages mixed up with mail.
That would be a disaster, wouldn't it? Stephen, you just cleaned out the
I know. I could have been given a whole heap, and a lot of it was just concrete, which might be hard to ship.
Yeah, well, it seems like Flavio can sell anything.
But I know something. We ask everyone, our actors, our friends, our family members, everyone to contact other people, let people know that we have this campaign. We got so many calls that got to a point that, okay, my office was very small, right?
I was just going to say.
I had to rent another office bigger. And then little by little, I was taking the office more. I was taking more rooms, I was renting other office, the whole floor. We had the whole floor in Manhattan.
Amazing.
It was getting bigger and bigger. And the Tim has an interesting story because Tim, he made a video. And which is, Tim, you can talk about the video.
Tim, there's a video of all of this?
Tim, I'm sorry.
I did a promotional video for this eBay campaign.
Oh my God, that's got to be so funny.
No, it was funny. Tell a little bit, Tim. How was?
Well, I set up my camera, and then I got in my closet, and I just opened the door, and I go, I'm coming out of the closet. So much stuff in here. Along that line.
It was hilarious that it was viral. Everyone was talking about it.
I love it.
It was amazing. So that's how we raised the money that we raised on eBay. But again, going back to the film, you know, it takes a village to make a film.
Yes.
We have to find different ways to survive, you know, and only the ones that actually can reinvent themselves, because again, these industries change all the time. What I did with eBay today might not be the thing 5 years from now, might be something else. So you always have to reinvent yourself and create different ways of to survive this business, you know.
Oh yeah, that's God's honest truth. I'm curious about your auditioning process. I love the person who played Tina Carrera in your film. Unbelievably sensitive performance and gorgeous lips, I have to say. Incredible. You just love this person. What was your process to find the perfect Tina Carrera?
Well, again, this is a different film, right? We're not talking about the films that we usually make that usually call the casting director, and then the next day you have
different. You have to do it.
And what we did was we contacted every trans organization in New York and asked them, listen, this is a casting call. Send everyone you know. I don't care the background. Send them, and they will come. They will read the line, and then we decide if they have what it takes to be an actor or to be in front of the camera. And then a Carly came actually in the last day, because at that point I was like, I don't know who I'm gonna pick. There are so many great names, but nobody actually really because Carly, if you see the film, you're gonna understand. She's everything. If you see that film, that's Carly. She's playing herself. She's playing herself. She came when she was 5 years of age. She came from El Salvador, not from Mexico, but she could speak Spanish, so everything was perfect. And also Carly she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
And
just a wonderful human being.
Yeah, she's.
You can tell that. You can just tell that.
And then and then I was like, she had everything I was looking for on Tina. And then she read the line the first time. After she read the first time, I was like, okay, I found my Tina. That is, you don't have to read anymore because I found you.
You could see right away the chemistry was there.
Yeah, she was, and now we're always in touch, and she's now doing different, going different meetings, like virtual meetings. Now she's everywhere. She went after the film was done. She was in Europe representing the film, and she had been traveling everywhere because she's the lead, So and she's the perfect person to sell the film. She's smart and she's funny and yeah, we had a great time working together, and I'm so glad that we had the best team, including Tim, because actually Tim came in to read the line with me, and then after he read one time, I was like, you got the part.
That's a great
and no, it's that simple. I can see, I can tell. Like, you don't need to go any further. And Tim, actually, I don't know if you remember, Tim, you came, you read the line one time.
Yeah.
And that was another girl. I was with my assistant, and I look at her. No, it's okay. Are you sure? Like 100%? No, 100%. So anyway, and that's how we do it. And sometimes you have to be very careful with auditions because you might not get the right person. And but I was right with Tina, with Carly, with Tim, and so many people that came to work with us. We had the best team working on this film.
Yeah. Yep, you did.
So my question is, so we see how we got Carly to be Tina, but where did Tina come from? I mean, so you were one of the screenwriters for the film, right? Where did you come up with the idea of Tina? And
well, I work with John Rotondo, which is my co-writer, and we start working. It's just like usually when I start working a film, there are no producers, nobody. It's just like me, the screenwriter, because I have to make sure that I get the story right. So I met John Rotondo, my screenwriter. Then I told him, okay, that's what I want you to do, and the film is gonna be the trans community, but also the Latin community, and then he said like, okay, that's good. Now, and then I told him, now we're gonna have to do the research. We spend lots of time interviewing trans women and trans men as well. Most of them from the Bronx, because we knew the story would take place in the Bronx.
Just real quick, about how many did you go through?
Over 100.
It was
Wow.
Over 100.
I remember reading. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then again, everything you see in the film are things that we heard from the trans community. But here's the problem, okay? When you're making a film like that, because it works almost like a documentary, you don't know where the story is going to lead you, where the research is going to take you, right? You don't know, no? So you're just like, okay, I'm going to keep interviewing people, learn about them, about the specific needs and the struggles, what the trans community has to go through. Because as a gay man, I just, I can't assume that I know everything, right? We just can't, and otherwise it's going to be only based on your limited experience, and that's not going to be fair to the trans community. So that's why I thought like, okay, I have to get it right. I have to make sure that I do the proper research. So I interviewed a lot of especially trans women of color for this film. And then only after that, I felt like John and I felt that we had enough to actually draw those characters, and put pieces together. But the problem was to actually, because the trans experience is different for everyone that we interviewed. So it's very difficult to find a story that would make sense, because if you, for example, interview like a trans white woman who lives in someplace else in the country, right? Let's say lives in Manhattan, right? And not far from the Bronx. But then you interview a trans woman of color living in the Bronx, in the Brooklyn. Their stories are different.
Totally different. Totally different.
And that's why we thought that, okay, since the film is taking place in the Bronx, Tina lives in the Bronx, the story has to come from there. And she's Mexican, and she's undocumented, so we have to also take, look in those layers as well, to make sure that everything comes together, and that's how we came up with the story, And by the way, the dialogue that we have for this film came from the testimonies. Those testimonies helped to shape the story of Tina, and the dialogue, everything. And then after that, we took the story to the trans community. Then we brought Kristen Parker and Devin Loy, and they helped us. Okay, you can't say this. You can't say that. They kind of helped us to navigate that word, and then anyway. So, and that's to answer your question, Stephen. That's how we got the story.
So was Rosie based on someone in particular, or was that just a number of stories that came together to create that particular character?
No, actually, it came from people saying, for example, Ivana Black, the trans woman who talks with the grandmom in the kitchen, the tall black woman.
Yeah.
And she said some stories to us about losing friends, and some of them also said the same stories, and the police brutality, And then I thought like, okay, this is it's important to have that story there, but I didn't want that to be the main thing of the film, so it was very subtle, but again, there are so many. I tried to check as many boxes as possible. Trust me, I tried.
You did good.
Let me tell you, you totally did. There was no stone left unturned. And one of the things I said to Stephen before we came on tonight, what really impressed me, there's often like a split between the gay male community and the trans community. And you could see how you handled it with such concentration to make sure that you hit every point of sensitivity. And it's really, really to be admired. I mean, I have to tell you, really did your homework.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, it's not easy. Again, there are different voices in the trans community.
Yes.
It's not an easy process. I'm very proud of everything we did, but I'm also proud because I didn't do that by myself alone, I had lots of people that I worked with. I had to thank a lot my producer, Roy Wall. Everyone knows Roy Wall. You know, he's an incredible producer. As a cis man, straight man, who actually fought so much to get this film done, who embraced the story the way he did, you know. And also my trans producers, you know, especially Kristen and so many others who actually helped to make this film, you know, and I wouldn't be able to make this film by myself, you know. So I get a lot of credit as a director, but the credit should go to, I should share this credit big time with those people, because without them, this film would be a different film, will not be a film, honestly, you know. And so I'm very pleased with them. And also my co-writer, who, John Rotondo, who I met 7 years ago on Twitter. I was putting Twitter, I want to make a film, and he replied, you know, and that guy has been working with me since then. You know, it's insane. We talk every single day with these people. It's crazy, you know.
Wow. Well, we have the chat room's been going.
Yeah, it's been going crazy.
Let's check out the chat room, because people have questions and things they want to say. It's been such a really great time having you here tonight, and I can't wait for everybody that we know to see the film.
Okay, so we have one question. It's a spoiler, so I'm going to avoid that one for now. Okay, a couple of these are spoilers that I don't want.
From people who've seen the movie, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I know what the spoiler they're talking about.
No spoilers. We want you to see the movie.
So I'm going to do a question with from Simone, and I will put it on the screen if it will let me.
Oh, look at you!
This film resonated with me, especially the violence against transgender people of color. Are you ever going to do another movie dealing with the transgender community and the struggles we deal with? Late stage transitions have challenges such as family and society abandoning them.
You know, I heard so many stories that I would like them to actually, you know, somehow to try to get them in the film, you know, and so many beautiful stories that I heard, and some of them are very sad, you know, and so I'm open to that, you know, but again, I kind of, as a storyteller, also I was trying to find different communities. But I don't want to marry to one single community, you know, and I want to. Now, my next film is about something completely different, you know, and but I talk about the violence, you know, and the violence was for us was important to talk about, because if you're trans woman of color, you know, with so many things that are happening, especially this year, you know, we are on the track to be the most violent year ever for. No.
Yes,
I think we've passed 2019.
Yeah.
And the statistic you list at the end of the film for 2018, I think we're well past that number, which is horrifying.
So, and sometimes shining a light on a specific issue is the first step toward affecting change, you know. And so if you don't talk about it, and people think that we are just fine, you know, and we have to let people know how the trans community are seen and perceived by society in general, and how vulnerable those lives are. And there is something that Ivana Black, again, I want to go back to Ivana Black because I learned so much with that woman. To her, but Ivana told me something on set. It was about 2 a.m. and we are finishing shooting, and my trans girls had to go home, you know, and to rest for the next day shooting, you know. And then she told me something I'll never forget. She told me, every time I leave home, I don't know if I'll come back. And not a single day goes by that I don't think about those words.
Sure.
You know? And because we take a lot for granted, you know, safety for granted. And I don't think about the violence that could be, you know, around the corner, you know, but they do. They deal with that every single day. It's always in the back of their mind, you know? So, and the worst about that is that no one actually makes a big deal. No one says anything, you know, and another trans woman just lost her life, you know, and
it's kind of swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug. You know, Flavio, in the very last blackout screen on the film, you know, before the credits, I loved your dedication. If it's okay, if I can read what you wrote.
Sure.
This film is dedicated to the memory of all transgender men and women whose lives were lost at the hands of violence and hatred. That was very, very important to leave your audience with that message, because at the end of the day, that is that message.
But you know why also people are forgetting that, which I understand, you know, some people go for the theater for entertainment. Now that's why I call entertainment business. People, they sometimes is, you know, people go to the theater to see a movie to take them away from their reality, you know, their lives, you know, they need just to have a break, you know, and they want, you know, but they look for the most part, especially in America, for more uplifting endings. And so, and that was important to have it there because we're talking a lot about violence.
Yeah.
So it's important to remind that that community, that specific community we are talking about now, they are in danger now. And when you see that for this year, but almost every year is the same, right? This year, I think 27 trans women lost their lives, and almost all of them, I think 26 of them are trans women of color. And so you can imagine how cheap those lives are. You know?
Yeah, out of the LGBT community, I believe that the trans, and within the trans community, especially trans women of color, are particularly vulnerable.
Yeah, so that's why, just a reminder why the importance of this film, and why it's good to remind them, you know, the dangers, you know, the hatred, you know, that's imposed to this community, you know, and yeah, but also, even the ending of the film, we end the film, there is nothing, it is only crickets. Do you see that? It's a little cricket, but
but also the thing that I love, one thing that I love about this movie too is the humanity